Assalamu alaikum. In this video, we will be talking about DaisyUI and how to customize DaisyUI with any React project. So, for that, I have set up a project with in React, and uh, now I'm going to install DaisyUI. To do that, let's go to their website, and they have a good step-by-step guideline here. So I'll copy this one and just go to my um, project. And if you don't know about the installation of Tailwind CSS and Vite, you can check out my video in the description. So I'm just installing DaisyUI, and for that we know that we have to um, import Tailwind here, and in this document in their website they are showing it as require, but in Vite project we require doesn't work by default. So what we can do here, we can just import DaisyUI from DaisyUI like this, and what we can do here, we can just use DaisyUI inside plugin array. So this will install DaisyUI in our project. To check if it's working, let's just grab one or two buttons from here and let's paste it in our project. So as you can see, this is working perfectly. So that means DaisyUI have been successfully installed. You can choose any components from their components. So as you can see, there are multiple components inside the components tab, and you can just grab it like this one. You can just come over here and copy the code and paste it in your project. This will start working immediately. So if I go back, as you can see, it's working. So like this, you can use any components you want. To how to customize a component. So to customize a component, you have to understand their class and the Tailwinds class. So as you can see, they have some classes defined in their theme styling. So you can customize these themes or these stylings with Tailwind CSS default class. You can use BG base, BG blue 500, let's say. So as you can see, the button got blue, and if I just remove it, it becomes the DaisyUI's default theme. So you can use any of their classes that they have defined, or you can use any Tailwind CSS class to style and design your component. You can use Tailwind CSS apply directive to customize components globally. To do so, you have to use apply directive in the index.css. You can use in any other CSS files as well, but to use it globally, you can use the index.css, or you can do like they have a custom class btn. So you can use the apply directive and say rounded full, but and after that, as you can see, their design is showing like this, like these buttons. But if I use the rounded full, now all the buttons have a border radius of 9999 pixels. Okay, so this way we can customize components globally. After that, we have config. So in the config, we can customize DaisyUI's default behavior. like we have a DaisyUI object here. Let's copy this one and go to Tailwind config. So as you can see, this is after plugin, we have to add DaisyUI object here, and this is an object, and we can customize our themes and some stylings in this object. So in themes, they have multiple themes. So if we go to their themes page, we can see there are multiple themes here. By default, the themes value is false, which means you can only use light and dark theme. But to extend the usability, you can make it true to use any of their theme anywhere in your component. So let's say you can use a dark theme in a part or in a component. You can use aqua theme for other component or for other HTML element. Let's say we have a component here. Let's say we have a button here. Here we have some buttons here. So if we want to use the theme, what we have to do, we have to say data theme. Let's say we say this dark, and if we go back, as you can see, these themes looks darker. So we can use this data theme property in any HTML file as well. So if we just want to use the theme in our full project, what we can do here, we can just come in our index.html file and use data theme dark for the whole project. So as you can see, it's working. So the theme gets darker, but you can use different themes for different components. Let's say we have to use the light theme for this one, for this particular heading only. So what we can say, we can write light. As you can see, it gets light theme. Okay, in the same component you can have multiple themes. Okay, so and if we just make this themes value true, you can use any themes they have. So to understand or to get the theme name, as you can see, they have the theme names here. Let's say we want to use retro in any of these buttons. So let's go and use retro. As you can see, it gets retro theme. But if you want to use only specific themes, you have to set an array here. So let's say you want to use light, dark, and cupcake. So you can say like this: light, dark, and cupcake. So then if we want to use dark, you can use dark, but all other styling for all other themes rather than these three themes will be disabled. So if you use something like retro here, so this will not work because you have explicitly set only three themes. So after that, we can see there another property, dark theme. So for dark theme, we have by default dark theme. So dark theme is the fallback theme for the dark theme. So if a user switch between the light and dark mode, then this dark theme will be used as dark theme. So by default it's dark, which is the DaisyUI's by default theme, dark theme. So if I just go here, So by default it will be dark theme, but if we choose any other theme like synthwave or any other theme as our dark theme, so this will be the dark theme. And one thing again here, if you do not explicitly write a name for dark theme, so by default it will be dark theme, otherwise it will be the user's system default theme. So which means if we go to our Windows personalization and then color, if we are using Windows 11, or if you're on a Mac or something, if you have a dark mode enabled, you will see the system default theme as dark theme. So let's say we have synthwave as dark theme. So whenever you are visiting a website, you will see the synthwave theme as your website's color or the website's theme, because your system's default theme will be working for that one. Okay, you can use any theme here based on these themes, but remember, if you make it false and then use synthwave or any other theme rather than light and dark, this will not work. So you have to enable the same thing here and then you can use it here, or you can use your custom theme as well. Then we have base. For base, if it's true, then it will include some colors. If we click in this link, it will take us to their GitHub repository, and in the GitHub repository, in this file, we can see there are two things defined mainly. One is the background color and another one is the color. So again, if we go back, then we can see we have utils. So for utils, we have a couple of things here. Let's go to their website. So we have global, styled and unstyled folder in their GitHub repository. This CSS is for class property, and these variables, as you can see, there are some class here. There are some class based on animation, border, tab border, and other things. If you go back, then we can see some other files related to variables and other things. So if we go to styled, there are some CSS files based on their component stylings, like they have artboard, cut, and all other CSS defined here. And if you look at them very closely, you can see there are not much CSS written here, just some padding, some margin, and text colors and other things. So these are by default utils property if it's true, and if you make it false, these things will not be included in your DaisyUI theme. After that, we have prefix. So prefix is a good thing for using DaisyUI identically. So if you want to work with two CSS library, let's say you are using DaisyUI and another Tailwind library or Tailwind component library, or another design library. So what you can do, you can use prefix for Tailwind CSS. You can use prefix for DaisyUI. Like in this website, they showed it very well. Like if you want to use like Daisy as prefix, so if you use like this, you have to define Daisy for every classes that comes with DaisyUI. For example, if we have btn for now, so if we just go back to our website again, and as you can see, there are no stylings here because they don't recognize this btn class anymore. So if we use this prefix, so if we use something like this daisy-btn, then it will work like this. So again, if we want the same thing for other buttons, let's say for this button as well, so we can see this is working. In this way, you can differentiate between other component libraries as well. So for more details, you can see that if we use any custom name or prefix in Tailwind CSS as well, so what we have to do, we have to define the Tailwind prefix first, then the DaisyUI, and then the DaisyUI class. So first it will be Tailwind prefix if you have used someone, and if not, then just use the DaisyUI prefix and then the before the DaisyUI class. After that we have logs. So if I go to my terminal, as you can see, if I change something here, let's say I change it to let's say I just change it like this, and if I change it like this, as you can see, we have some logs printed here. Okay, so these logs are coming from DaisyUI. So if I just go to my tailwind config.js and then make the logs false, so this will not be printed here anymore. So it depends on you. If you want to show the logs, you can do it, otherwise make it false. So then we have theme root. So in CSS, we know that to organize all of the theming or all of the variables, we use root. So you can specify this thing as well. So you can specify anything. Let's say you have multiple things or multiple items here, so you can use any of the names here to identify it as a CSS root. So this is how you can customize DaisyUI default options. Now let's move on to colors. DaisyUI works with something like BG primary, BG secondary, BG accent, or some colors like accent primary or base. And Tailwind offers some explicit color values like BG green 500 and BG blue 700, etc, etc. This DaisyUI naming style is perfect whenever you are using full style guide in your theme or in your project, because if you are working with a big project or maybe it's a medium project, you will need a style guide for that one. So for that, you can use their naming convention or naming styles. So for that, they have some naming specification like the primary theme color, then the secondary and secondary content, and all of the lists here. As you can see here, they have set the priority or required, if it's required, or optional. Here some of the names are necessary and some are optional. So in this way you can change the default uh, primary color or default colors that they offer in any theme. After that, we can see that they have some naming styles or naming templates, like how you can do it. So you can do it like PG and then color name and to then color name. So you can use these things in their theme. to match your style guide or create your style guide. Next, let's move on to their themes. So this is one of the most amazing parts they offer, because whenever you create a theme, then it becomes very easier for you to customize any components in your React app. So as you can see, we have already used the data theme, and we can change this theme in anywhere, or we can use multiple themes. As you can see, they have used the data theme for their HTML tag. So this will include the whole HTML body. So if we go back to our project, then if we go back to index.html, then we can use data theme. Let's say cupcake for now. So if we go back, and then as you can see, the whole theme gets cupcake theme. So first it was different theme, because it was the theme from the system default. As you can see, if I go back to this website here, as you can see, my current theme or current color mode is dark, but it is still showing the cupcake. The thing is here, if we explicitly define the theme, so it will work according to this theme styling. But if we do not explicitly define this, then it will turn into our fallback theme or dark mode. Okay, but why it's dark mode? So it will work with the Windows by default theme or color mode. So if I am on dark mode, and if I go to my config file, as you can see, I have put this dark mode theme or dark theme as synthwave theme. So this is getting synthwave theme styling. So if I just change it to light theme, so it will get the light theme, because by default it's light. So I hope you understand now how it works. But if we just use any theme here explicitly, then the default theme is overwritten. So after that, as you can see, they have multiple themes here, so we can harness their themes styling to quickly make our website and design a particular theme faster. Okay, then what we can do, we can change or remove the unused themes. So as we know that we can explicitly define an array here to like this to remove the unwanted themes. Okay, so like this we can define any particular list of themes for our project. So how to disable all themes? So we can disable all themes by calling or setting the value of themes to false. We can totally ignore their themes by just putting an blank array here. Okay, again we saw that we can use different theme for different component or different element. Okay, so we can leverage that option as well. And again, we can customize our own theme. So this is the part where we need to understand how themes work. So what we can do here, as we know that we want something in the theme array, so this will be an array. After that, you can use any other themes like light, and then dark. And with this, let's say you want to use your own theme or customize a current theme. So this will be an object. So as you can see, this will be an object, and inside this, it will be my theme object. Okay, so this will be my theme. So let's just copy it from here. Let's just copy it from here. For themes, as you can see, we have some um, colors defined here for primary, secondary, accent, and other things, and we can add other colors that they offer. Okay, and for now, let's change the primary color, but before that, for simplicity, let's delete the prefix, and we have to delete the prefix from here as well. So we can delete this prefix as well, and for that we can change the colors to this color again, and this is purple color. So if we use it anywhere, let's say we say bg primary in this button, if we go back, and this is looking great. So this is how theme styling works, but this is not the end. There are more. So as you can see, if we scroll down a little bit, we can see there are other options as well. So by default, these things comes with DaisyUI, and if you notice here, if we click the buttons, it gets shrinked and then pops up again. So I don't like the bouncy effect they have. So what I can do here, I can configure them as well. So after these color stylings, let's use another thing here. Okay, so for that one, let's check these things. So the first thing we have is rounded box, but before we change anything here, let's just remove this directive from here. Okay, so after that, if we go back to our UI, and this is the default options comes from DaisyUI, and this is the rounded box 1 rem, which means the by default border radius, which comes from the utility classes and utility options that we saw in our previous part. So if we just make it 0, then it will be 0 border radius for any type of cards and other things. So let's go to a component. So let's go to a component. Let's find out cards, and if we just copy and then paste it here, let's check, and as you can see, there are no border radius in the edges. So there are no border radius. Okay, so that means these things are working perfectly. So again, it's rounded BTN, so this works for buttons. So if we make it 0, so there will be no border radius in these buttons. Again, if we go back, then rounded badge, so this works for badges. So in the components, if we go back to the badges, then if we just grab one of the badges and then go back to our code, use it here. Go back to the UI, and as you can see, we have some default border radius for this badge. And if we go back and make it to 0 pixel, then there will be no border radius.
So here we have animation button. So here we can see time is defined here. So if we go back to our website and if we just click on these buttons, nothing happens actually. And if we just change it to like 1 second or 2 seconds or maybe 3 seconds, but if we click here, as you can see, nothing is working as expected. As here they are telling that the duration of time animation when you click on the button, but it's not working like that. So what we can do here, we can check it in a different way. If we reload the page, as you can see, the buttons that animates on your viewport, this actually takes this time. So it's not like it's working on button clicks. It's rather working on the first time the page is loading. So it should be like, duration of animation when the page is loaded, or when the viewport, the components come to your viewport. Okay. So I don't know what's wrong with these settings, but this is how it works right now. And then we have animation input here. So here animation input, it works for input like, under forms like checkboxes, radio, toggles, and other things. So if we have a checkbox here, if we click here, we can see this is working like we have 0.2 seconds. If we make it to 5 seconds maybe, and if we can see that this is appearing very slowly, like taking 5 seconds to load. And if we click here, and as you can see, the animation actually taking 5 seconds. Okay, it's still animating, and that's done. So yeah, so this is working perfectly, but I don't know what's wrong with these buttons. Well, so again, we have button focus scale. This is the thing we were talking about earlier, that I don't like the shrinking, and I don't like the bounce effect. It's just scaling the buttons to 0.95 and then scale to 1 again. So this is why it's like bouncy. So if we just make it 0, so as you can see, this is not working perfectly because this is going to 0, and then if we just I'm just holding my mouse click, and if I just release it, it shows like this. So what we can do here, we can make it 1 so nothing happens in between. So yep, as you can see, nothing is happening here. Okay, so this is how we can fix this, and it's like border BTN. So every button has a border, though we can't see them, but we can remove this as well. Just make it 0. The buttons are gonna, as you can see, there were some borders, because as soon as I removed this 1 pixel, so they just moved a bit to the left, so that ensures us that they had some borders around them. Okay, so again, we have tab borders. It works for tabs as well. I'm not going to visualize here for that. And these two properties works similar to these things. So this is how we can customize a DaisyUI theme and as we want. Okay, so again, there are a lot more thing or a lot more customizing options in DaisyUI, like you can change the typography. We are not going to cover this thing in this video. So until then, bye bye and take care, and please like the video if you have learned something, and if you want to learn more and get more videos like this, please hit the subscribe button to stay updated.